Good morning, everyone. It is August 28th, 2025, 10:22 a.m., 67 degrees, and this is the after video that was supposed to be around 3 weeks ago, but boy, what a 3 weeks it's been. Before I forget, so I just wanted to point out that my service light is off, and I will get into that in a little bit. But first and foremost, let's just toss this in here, and let's take a little stroll around the parking lot. Let's go the opposite direction. All right. Well, since my last video, I had a bunch of front end work done. So I had the struts, coil springs, sway bar links, inner and outer tie rods, and the strut top mounts. I believe that was everything I had done. All of it was, for the most part, needing to be done, or almost needing to be done, or over needing to be done. And so I just figured, because I would need an alignment after doing most of those things individually, that I figured I would just get it all done at the same time and then go and get my alignment done the following day. Well, that didn't go according to plan. Long story short, after a bunch of mishaps and miscalculations on the establishment's part that did all the work, it all did get done. And here I am now with everything that I just mentioned replaced, and the sound is gone. The creaking sound that was occurring before. And so, anyone want to wager a guess as to which one of those things was the culprit? Anyone? Well, if you guessed none of them, then you would be correct. Yeah. So, ended up actually being the U-joint to the intermediate shaft down near the brake and accelerator pedals. All it needed was some lubrication. And that was it. Because after I got everything done, the noise was still there just as much as it was before. And I ended up having to, well, I went and got my alignment. And then right after, pretty much, I got my alignment done, when I went over like any little imperfection in the road, whether it was a pothole or just a dip or a raised section, horrible clunking noises were occurring. And and they sounded very familiar, like I've had those before. And so I went back the next day to the place that did the alignment, which was a different place than that did all the other work. And I explained to them, and so they lifted it up to take a look, and what they discovered was that one of the new sway bar links I had just had installed had not been tightened. And sure enough, they went and they tightened it, and the sound was gone. But while they actually had it, they they told me, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, your steering wheel is doing a bunch of like creaking when we were turning it and whatnot, taking it for a test drive. And I was like, yeah, I know that's that was supposed to be fixed with all this stuff, but I'm still trying to figure that out. And they were like, well, figure out no more because it's gone. And they're like, yeah, the U joint just needed to be lubricated. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, so we just sprayed some WD-40 on it, and as you can see, and they just started, turning the steering wheel, and they're like, it's gone. To which I was rather jaw dropped because I just couldn't believe that that's all it was. Um, After all this time, and sure enough, I mean, it has continued to be just fine. Now, they used regular WD-40, so I think eventually, because that's not like the greatest lubricant, I'm probably going to. I have a silicone spray that I think I'm just gonna apply to it if it starts up again, and that should last longer. I also have a lithium grease spray that I could apply to it, but I think I'll try the silicone first, and then just work my way up, I guess. But yeah, and I was able to verify that that's exactly what they did because I went and looked at the U joint, um, and sure enough, it was just freshly drenched, and I could smell it and whatnot. So yeah, it was a bittersweet moment because I was both ecstatic that it was gone, but also a little frustrated that the place that ended up doing all the other work had told me definitively. They were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's definitely going to be the struts, probably the mounts, or that are experiencing the issue." Well, that wasn't the case. And then in the end, that establishment, after the creaking was still there, they were like, yeah, no, it's still there. And so I asked them, well, what do you think it is? And they said, well, the only thing I can think of is it's the rack and pinion. To which I was a little mortified because I didn't want to have to do that again. I had just done that less than 2 years ago. And to just find out that it was just a little lubrication that was needed, like 20 cents worth of WD-40, and a minute later it's just gone. So yeah. So the the service light, which I believe I had already brought up, was pertaining to the active grill shutter needing to be replaced. And so I took a day off work, which I really couldn't afford, to do the work myself. I had obtained the OEM active grill shutter, um, and though I did not have any of the proper tools really to do it, I had some. I had the proper uh, uh, torque torque bits. So that, like, a lot of it was T15s, and I had the necessary sockets for like the 7 millimeters and 10 millimeters, and for the bolts and whatnot that needed to come out. But I didn't have a jack, so I couldn't remove the front tires. I couldn't raise the vehicle at all. So I essentially just did it all while the vehicle was resting on the ground, and managed to completely get the front end off, and upon trying to disconnect the power connector wire harness from the active grill shutter, I discovered that it had completely corroded. And when I finally did get it off, it was so badly corroded that when I pulled it off, it actually pulled one of the power pins that was in the grill shutter itself, in the actuator motor. And that was a bit spirit breaking, because I was not prepared for that. I just had the new active grill shutter itself, and that then would entail me needing to do some wiring to have like a pigtail wire harness kit to replace the totally destroyed one due to all the corrosion and whatnot. So that was what I was dealing with at that point, and I had just wasted the whole day getting everything apart, only to then have to put it all back together without any solution. Um, I mean, at that point, I guess the only silver lining to that was that I had a definitive, or what I thought anyway, would have been a definitive answer as to what needed to be done. And so I then tried to proceed with finding a place that could do that. I ended up getting the wire harness kit from a local GMC dealership where I am, and I had gotten a bunch of other parts from them as well. So they got that for me. But the existential crisis didn't end there, because oddly enough, and I don't know why this is, but the wire harness kit that I got, it is listed, and I don't remember the part number, but um it was listed on GM's official website when you go to order parts from them as not compatible with my 2019 Bolt. Oddly enough, when you actually change the year and you go from 2017 to 2023, it listed every other year as compatible. And I was able to even determine this further by going to third party places that sell the part. And they also all listed as every year compatible except 2019. I even found an eBay listing for that particular part number that again had a big breakdown on the description that listed every year except mine. So that was pretty stressful, because I did end up getting that particular part because there was nothing else that seemed to be available. So I don't know why it is listed like that, and it still is listed like that. But the GMC dealership was also very confused, because they said that that was the only thing that was available that they could get, and no one could give me a straight answer as to why that was. But they all were just saying it should work. So I was essentially going on a it should work. And so I did get it scheduled, and I'd never been to the place that I got it scheduled. It was a local place to me, and they were able to do it, and thankfully it all went well. They got it all taken apart, did the rewiring with the connector that is listed as not compatible for my particular year only, and everything went fine. So I got my car fixed, I got it inspected, and now I'm just good to go to continue my working. And yeah, so that was a huge relief. The Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. That's like the latest info I have. So everything is good. Everything is fixed that needed to be fixed, and I am probably, yeah, no, not probably, definitely. I'm going to be having my tires rotated tomorrow, so the 29th of August. So I'll probably be doing the update video for that. And yeah, that's all I got for now. And I hope that's the last stuff I have to do for a while. Because wow, all in all, that was like thousands of dollars between parts and labor and the nightmares of all the different places and things I had to do to get it all done. Oi, yeah. So I guess I'll just leave it at that, and feel free to ask anything that I might not have added, and I'll do my best to answer anything. All right, well, have a great day, everyone, and I'll probably have that tire rotation video tomorrow. Cheers.